Hi, my name is Daniel, and today we are talking about
Death.
when I was a kid, I was fascinated by death. Not in a morbid way, more in a where do we go, what happens to us, is there an afterlife kind of way. I don't really remember why I became so fascinated by death. It could have been because my dad's father passed away, so maybe it had something to do with that. I don't know. But I remember asking my parents, what happens when we die? Now, my parents aren't religious or anything, so they didn't know what the fuck to say. So they just said, Daniel, everything just goes black. You fall into a deep sleep. It's like you're in a deep sleep, but it's forever. And at the time, I just accepted that as the truth. I mean, why would your parents lie, you know? But as I got a bit older, I started reevaluating and really thinking about what death could be. What is on the other side of death? When we die, where does our soul go, spirit go? I don't know why. A fucking 11-year-old shouldn't be thinking about this stuff, but for some reason, I was. At my primary school, which is like elementary school, they had a class where they taught Christianity. As to why they taught Christianity, I don't know. I think that's kind of stupid considering how multicultural Australia is. Lots of people practice many different religions here. I don't know why they would practice Christianity. It wasn't a Catholic school or anything. It was just your average public primary school. I don't know why they would do that. But in this class, of course, they teach you about heaven and hell. And when you die, if you're good, you go to heaven. If you're bad, you go to hell. Now, of course, it's a bit more complex than that because a good Christian can also be kind of a bad person if you really want to get into that. But because they were teaching young kids, they just simplified it down to good and bad. And I believed what they taught in this class because I also believed in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. I was an impressionable little kid. So from ages 8 to 11, I thought that's what happens. I thought when you die, you go to heaven or you go to hell. And it's purely based on if you've been good or you've been bad. But then I got even older and realized the probability of there being a magical entity in the sky that judges your every action was slim to none. Now, I'm not putting anyone down for their religious beliefs. You can believe what you want. That's your right. But personally, I came to the conclusion that religion is a coping mechanism to delude yourself into thinking that death is not the end. Or at least it can be used that way. Basically, I lost my belief that there is any type of afterlife out there. And that created in me a pretty deep-rooted fear of death. I developed a genuine phobia of death. Like if I thought about it too hard, I would literally go into a panic attack. Like it was just the thought of not existing was just too much. Because when you think about it, death is genuinely terrifying. Like when I was little and my parents said everything just goes black. That's bullshit. Your brain is literally dead. It can't even comprehend the color of black because your brain is decomposing. It's shut off. It doesn't work anymore. It's terrifying. And that is the scariest part about death. The unknown factor. The fact that you are going to die and you don't even know what is after death. Spiritual people like to say that when your physical form dies, your spirit or your soul or your consciousness transfers from your physical body and goes into either another physical body, being reincarnation, or goes into some other plane of existence or another dimension of some sort, aka heaven, hell, etc. Which is even scarier to think about considering that your brain is your spirit and your soul. Your brain is everything that makes you, you in the non-physical form. So when your brain dies, your spirit, soul, and consciousness all die with it. So therefore, how could there be an afterlife? And how could your consciousness go to that afterlife if your brain is dead? You see what I mean? When you think about it too much, it becomes genuinely terrifying.